Hey guys, I thought I'd try something new this time around. Just for this day. It's nothing like gonna be happening like each and every day. It's not gonna be a habit or a pattern. But I just wanted to talk about it's in the title. Me working for y'all. As in making videos for you guys, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what topic is your favorite, what's your least favorite, and etc. And what inspired me to make this video was me listening to this guy who's talking about um, being inspired by his coworkers who've been working at his occupation for 14 plus years, maybe even more. And it got me thinking because it got me reflecting about some things because we all have those coworkers that been with the company for a decade or more, and it's truly um how can I say this? It's truly like a cautionary tale for us being in our 20s, maybe even in our early 30s, and it's it's like you can see that these people's soul is just it's been dragged around, and they think that they have nowhere else to go or nothing else really because they're already tied down with due to family or having benefits or whatever else. And I'm not saying it as a completely negative thing. Life happens as always, and it just it really watching that video really struck something in me, and it made me just want to like make this video again, be inspired to just say, I wouldn't mind working for y'all one day. Y'all can be really my boss, my new boss, and I wouldn't mind it. Now, of course, we gotta be reasonable because some people, there are some people out in the world that will just take advantage of that. I mean, that's human nature from what we've seen. But seriously, uh, I can't really foresee myself working one occupation or just going from occupation to occupation throughout a span of a few years. And honestly, that's like the new promotion nowadays. It's not sticking with the company like how it was back in the 40s, during our great grandparents' days and grandparents' days, where if you stuck with the company long enough, you actually be moving up the ladder. No, it's like now it's like, well, gonna be there for 2 years, maybe three, and then just jump ship into another company because they pay more for the same type of amount of work I was doing with the previous company. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. You gotta do what you gotta do, but that's that's chaos to me, to be honest. I know we all dream of having that stable job, but what's the price to pay for that stable job? And I get it. Some people in the world, they don't have that privilege, and my heart goes out to them. People don't have the privilege that I do, where they make a book, they're able to write a book and get it published independently, work on a comic independently, well, with a small team. And I mean, people, there's so many routes and avenues in life that it seems like a maze, but when you actually talk to people about things, it becomes somewhat clearer, if that makes sense. But onto my main subject, without trying to get into a tangent. uh I don't mean like me trying to be a YouTuber or anything. I don't want to be a YouTuber. YouTube is fine. I mean, social media is fine. But what I mean is that with my writings, with what I put out in videos, I want y'all, my audience, to grow. It doesn't have to be like up to 1 million or astronomical numbers. That'll be fine and all. That'd be cool. But I'm talking about numbers that are actually reliable. People that are um, are return viewers or regular viewers. I mean, and that's all I want, really. That's all I want, because that gives me motivation, that gives me a drive, that gives me purpose. Honestly, and I'm not trying to make this like a corny or cheesy video. I'm sorry if it's coming out to be that way, but this is how I truly feel. It's from my heart. I I would rather work for y'all than someone who has uh who has no stake in believing in my potential. Really, you guys have that right, because you guys watch my videos, you participate in whatever I post on Twitter or social media in general, and you may even look at my samples with the book or comic book. You guys are the ones that I want to work for. Straight and simple. And I'm not sure how long this video will be. I apologize if it's a long one, because boy oh boy, you guys know I like to ramble on. That's just how I am. But that's okay. So I have these ideas, these plans. Really, I'm not saying like I'm a mastermind, but I do. It's always good to plan. It's always good to have, to think 2 steps ahead about things, especially the future. And I usually have like these. I usually do feel like these little. Um, geez, I can't think, like these little business plans that I have for next year, and I always have like a theme for for example, 2024. I themed it as the year I publish, and this year I did publish my first debut novel, and of course, technically my comic again on social media, but I hit that goal. It's one of the goals. It's the major goal, but it's not. It falls in line with what I'm trying to do. It actually helps me keep the scheduling in a way, and I'm not sure if I can break it down to specific times and days, because I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And even if I were, things happen, but I'm not making excuses. That's just how things rock and roll in life. But if I were to do that, that would be interesting. And honestly, I do have a deadline that I'm trying to reach, that I'm trying to actually get things established before that deadline happens, which is in January. Stay tuned. But I mean, this is, I never would imagine I would be doing this stuff. Honestly, be doing YouTube, uh, books, comics. I never thought of it. I didn't say it would be impossible, but I was falling into that I guess I would appropriately say is a trap in a way of the mediocre life. Again, I'm not calling people out. This is just how things work. It's sad but true. But hey, it's not the end of everything. Things can change. Obviously, we've seen stories time and time again how people were in a crazy situation or just a mundane situation, and they were just able to just turn it right around. Now it took some time. It usually took time unless they hit the lottery, or I don't know, or fortune was on their side, or good luck, whichever. But normally people go through a tedious process where it changes their character for the better, and they actually grow. And honestly, I think that's what we need more in this world, because let's be honest, with the world and social media, it seems like a lot of idiocy is being rewarded, and it is. Why are we focusing on, the officers who actually do a good job while putting their lives on the line? Why don't we actually focus on true heroes that are willing to sacrifice themselves to save others, or those who are brave enough to try something new, even when, as they're being told that it's impossible, it's never been done. I'm not sure if it's like some sort of sign of something spiritually happening, but I this overwhelming amount of negativity within social media, or just media in general, it is just absurd, and it's tiring. Well, not exactly tiring, but exhausting. And sorry if I'm getting quiet, y'all. I'm thinking a little bit, and you know, not I'm not gonna get political or anything. Not It's not really the topic of this video, but you got people just being overly nasty just because of people expressing their right to vote, which is, that's insanity, man. Like, why? Why? And I'm talking about the U.S. because I'm based in the United States. I am an American. For those of you who don't know that, it's like, okay, this person won, just like how, that other person won 4 years ago, and yada yada yada. This is nothing new. This has literally been going on before I was born, before my parents were born, before my grandparents were born, uh, before my friends were born. Why all of a sudden now is it such a big deal? And yeah, there is quite some things to admit there, where things can be changed due to a certain way how people vote. But we're not like, this isn't the end of the world. But anyway, besides that, besides the point of that, it would be a great honor to actually work for y'all one day. Uh, Making videos, writing, etc. Uh, I don't. I know, the gig economy. Sorry, I lose my voice. The gig economy is growing and expected to grow. I can't remember what the actual statistic it is for 2030, but that's going to be even higher than it is in 2024. And I'm not really trying to have a gig. I'm trying to have a business, and I'm doing my best to work on that as well. Uh, Slowly and steadily, of course. But hey, I'm one step closer each day. It's a process. I've been doing this since possibly 2019, I think. If not 2019, 2020. And I'm still learning as I go. But hey, that's improvement right there. For those who actually know what I'm talking about with that, you guys understand exactly, especially if you're independent, how much work it is. Oh no, this isn't me complaining. Absolutely not. This is me telling the truth. it involves a lot of work, especially for those who who don't work in my um, field of things, but have their own stuff with tech or whatever. Excuse me. Um, it's just there. There's a lot of hours being put into that stuff, and unpaid, of course. What you're working up to is what you know what you what you are trying to get paid for, and it's not entirely about the money, but we do expect some type of result, where it be monetary or some sort of like social, like some sort of feedback, because we need to know. We need to know what works and what doesn't. There was a quote I saw with PBD, or Patrick Bet David, like him or hate him. There was this quote I had on my phone for a long time, where it's about he was talking about the economy, how the economy gives you the free, how the economy should be more of a freedom based thing, where you have the freedom to try, the freedom to succeed, and the freedom to fail. It's all about trial and error, really. So, like with Thomas Edison with his light bulb, I'm not. I mean, they say it took him 100 times. I'm pretty sure that's exaggeration, but all those times work on the light bulb, all those failures, he, you know, actually created General Electric, became a big thing because of his success. This stuff, this stuff is truly enlightening, and honestly, I implore y'all to, who watch and who are watching this and who are not haven't yet worked on something like this. I'm not saying like you need to work on something like revolutionary, but work on something that you're good at, and try to do your best with it and try to actually see it. I implore you guys to do that, because honestly, I believe you guys will be, there will be an opportunity there. Again, succeed or fail. That's the freedom. That's your freedom right there. Try it. Don't be afraid. Easier said than done, but at least try something. It doesn't have to be costly. Some of us who choose that route, the costly route, that's, hey, look, now we're not wealthy. That's for darn straight. Because if we were, we wouldn't. It'd be an entirely different story. But I'm not wealthy. I'm middle class. That's ever going down. It seems it's going down the drain, because now it's like the middle class line. Well, the middle class is just shrinking every, I don't know, every year, I guess. it's a it's a mess, but what I'm trying to do in that mess is gonna matter. And I'm not sure about like legacy wise. Like I'm not, people, have their kids, and they believe, and rightfully so, that their kids are their legacy, continuing their bloodline. People might believe that, hey, I created this one thing, and it's well known, and it's gonna help improve people's lives, uh, um, even after I'm gone, and that's their legacy. It's all. I'm not, I don't. I'm kind of possibly indifferent about that, and I'm not saying it's not important, because it is important. But for me, I don't. I believe my legacy will always be my writing. Some people will hate the story. Some people will love the story. I'm definitely not writing to appease people. Not really. I'm writing what's what I believe is true to the narrative. Now I'm keeping y'all in mind, my potential customers. I am. But if I just strictly do it for the money, it's going to be soulless, and you guys are going to see that, and you're not going to want to, read anything like that, because it's just, oh look, it's the same, basically technically the same book, like the previous, but just a different scenario. But everything is just it's just a retread of what happened previously. I don't want that. And maybe I could word this better, and I'm trying, y'all. I really am. But I noticed with the indie books, well, I shouldn't say indie books, but with bookstores, and I've been seeing videos. I even had like this chart. I even found this little chart a month ago about like men not reading more books than women. And this isn't me being sexist or anything. It's literally bringing up facts. And I believe there is a there is a truth that men don't really read books like that, because we're often working or doing whatever. But there's also what I've been seeing with especially with these videos that I'm getting mentioned, like by John A. Douglas and a couple other guys, that when you look at when you go to your local Books a Million or Barnes and Noble or whatever, yeah, there's sections for men and everything, but mainly with, like, I'm talking about like fantasy wise, at least fantasy wise, it's just like you get these weird supposedly fantasy series, but they're like, what are they called? Another romantic fantasies. I think I forgot what they're kind of called, like, but they're romantic fantasies, and it's like, obviously they're not really geared towards men. They're geared more towards the female, the women, the female audience. But it's like an overwhelming amount, and that's another reason why I view this as working for y'all, because I write for I my main audience is going to be men. It always will be. Like, and again, this is not me trying to put down women or anything, because I know there are women out there who will love my writings, or the craziness that goes on with it. But I know my target audience, and it's men who like dark fantasy, who love like epicness, love battles, gore, illustrations, the whole 9 yards. That's centered. That's because I'm male, obviously, and I'm just this is how I am. This isn't me trying to be an activist or anything like that. No, this is just I've ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, I've been writing. I've been writing stories since third grade, I believe. That's that's coming up upon like 20 something years. Oh, 20 years almost. But this this year marks my first year of published, being independently published. But it's something I have seen myself, really, when I went to my local Books a Million. But this is before that the John A. Douglas video came out. I seen it, and it's just like the covers look cool, but it's like, even when I look at the covers, I know they say, like, the covers are what catches the eye, but even then when I look at them, it's like, is this like the same artist or something? Because they all look similar to me. And of course, they're right around that that fantasy romance stuff as well. And I'm Just like, no thanks, dude. Like, can I actually have like some masculine books that's not afraid to be like gritty, or just, acknowledge what they are. Why why should I and other male authors feel shame should be feel shame or be shamed just because we write, a little small sex scene? That's called being, that's called fan service too. By the way, that's called fan service. Welcome to entertainment. But you know, you really have these books out here that are just go above and beyond, as in like, whoa, okay, you're being a little too detailed with some things that are just, and that's their right to do that. But it gets weird. It honestly gets weird, and it's just like, wow, women read this. It's kind of a shocker, honestly. But hey, that's what they like. It works. It obviously works to a degree, but I'm not sure, if those authors have loyal fan bases. Sure, not everything just because it seems like it's, oh, it's getting all this media attention, and it's in bookstores, in your local bookstore, and yada yada yada. That, sure they'll get like, I don't know what they'll get for all that. I imagine it would be a good chunk, but the problem is that how long will it last? Is it going to be like a short burst? Like every book you put out, you're going to get this, amount, and then it's going to dip down throughout the year until another book comes out, and then it's going to, like, no, that's not, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a steady flow of income. I'm trying to have a steady flow of engagement. I'm trying to have I'm trying to have that closeness with my audience where I can understand what they want, and also what they theorize, and just seeing what they come up with the characters. That improves uh that that improves longevity with the product or book, or whatever else. And honestly, that might be a lost art to to these people who do traditional publishing, because even with traditional publishing, from what I've heard, is that it's discriminatory against certain authors. And I'm not sure if, like, they're not trying to hire, trying to work with white men or whoever. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I can't confirm it because I never been through that process. I don't know anyone who's been through that process. I'm literally just, you know by myself navigating through this in a way, and each day, again, trying to retain what I've learned, and what I'm watching, to try and uh, implement new ideas into, how to get this book out to you guys. And and before I forget, I will have my debut novel down in the link below, and also the comic as well. And there obviously there's the book's going to have a sample from the prologue to the second chapter, I believe, and the comic itself is going to be on my Twitter, but it's going to be censored because I have plans for it later on, which is coming up soon, but not going to get in spoiler territory. But that's my thought process really with things. I'm that's how I see it really with being an independent author and a comic book creator. It's just it's a lot of pressure, but it's good. I love it, man. Honestly, this actually, believe me or not, this I actually get up for this. It helps me with waking up because that drive is there, that purpose, man. That purpose is everything, dude. And that's what I lacked a few years back. I was gonna fall into that trap, and I I'll be honest, I didn't want to be like my father. I'm not saying like my father is, in a terrible state or anything. He's doing well. He's doing good. But he's definitely put decades into this one, into a one job. And he's trying to start his own business and everything and get things going for him, which, I'm glad. I'm proud of him for that. But I just don't want to see people just be stuck at this one occupation for years without trying to do something that might be beneficial to them. Not everything and not I'm sorry, not everyone is built for that. I understand that. I truly do. I just kind of want to be that encouraging voice, to be honest, just to help give people a little push. But the rest is going to be on them to find out, to find what to do about this or that. Who can I work with on here or there? It's a lot of avenues to take. Not going to be easy, but hey, that's that's the beauty of it. And sorry if I'm sound like I'm repeating myself here. I just want to make sure I got everything sorted out in my head, and I know I'm using this background, this anime background because I love it. I love the scenic um, artwork. This is I'm not sure who this is honestly or where this came from. I just typed up typed in Google with Japan uh, scenic nighttime, and that's one of the results I got. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty nice. I also been seeing, well, maybe it's because of my algorithm, but it's also with people just saying like, "Oh, why I never married," and or I'll never have a girlfriend, whatever. Look, dude, it's just look. We all have our little problems. We do. Something we just gotta work at, and will it be good to actually have that have that person beside you helping being encouraging, helping you, and being supportive? Absolutely. you know i I want that. I want someone in my personal life to be supportive, encouraging, like who's been with it throughout the entirety of the process, and to a degree I do, but I mean like more like an intimate sense, like not like romantic or anything, but just like, dude, you seen that evolution really. We I'm trying to explain it, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm just struggling, but hopefully I'm making sense here. Because if I'm not, I'm doing a terrible job, and that's something I do have to work on too. Is explaining my thoughts better. Uh, but seriously, it's like just having that, man. I'm pretty sure, and I'm very certain it will work wonders to that and to keep you going. But as for me, what keeps me going is y'all in a way. It's y'all. My determination as well, and and whatever else I hear from people, and from my personal life. Uh, it's truly, this is just, again, I'm just kind of wowed, amazed by this path I took. There are times where I get real nervous, but that's okay. That's all part of it's all part of that process. And hopefully, when I'm able to get there, where I'm able to actually work for y'all, it will be such a redeeming feeling. Like, I cannot wait to work for y'all, because that means I will be writing full time. Nothing's gonna stop me, other than, Lord forbid, sickness or death. But until then, you know, I'm I'm gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep writing. I actually do plan to pass away while I'm writing. I'm sorry if that gets a little dark, but that's the way how I want to go. Honestly, I don't want to pass on while I'm asleep, or in a violent manner, or anything, but just typing or writing. I don't know what they'll have in the future, but typing stuff out and just, you know just gone right there. Uh, Maybe a little too deep there, but that's how much I love this, y'all. This is how much I love writing. It's something that truly, it's not something. It it is a skill that has kept me passionate about creating storylines, characters, arcs, uh, just figuring things out. It's a puzzle to me. It's it's enjoyable, man. Just working out words, actually looking at looking at dictionaries, and figuring out, hey, can I use this in the proper? Sometimes I just had to do that. Using tools like Google Translate to see which word means what, or just making my own little language, stuff. Dude, I love writing, man. I love it. It can be tedious, but it's so rewarding. And it's, even to the point where I write little short stories for my friends. I can, dude, that brings me great joy. Just, I know I'm repeating myself with writing bringing me joy, but honestly, it really does. And I do want to invite y'all into into my writing, into seeing my world, uh, my the worlds I created, the characters I created, seeing how seeing how they evolve, seeing their arc, seeing their, you know, just immersing yourself into what I created. I'm surprised that I got a couple of sales this year, and that gave me the confidence to, like, dude, I can do this. You know, sure, I'm not at the $100 mark or anything like that. Again, it would be nice, but this this is my start, man. This is an honorable start for me. It's very humbling, and I'm very fortunate to have people support me in that manner, in that way. It's it's oh man, all those years of work, and to see that people are actually just willing to put money into it because they believe in me. It's a it's a feeling that I don't think I can describe. I don't think I even have a word for it. But I count this as a success. I look forward to getting this comic out to you guys in a proper format, and along with whatever whatever that will come with it, as long as we certain goals are met. Again, not trying to uh get ahead of myself, or be a spoiler, but I do I do have things put in place. I've been putting things in place for this one since the start of this year, and it's been an enlightening journey with how to manage a small team and making mistakes, learning for them, doing my best to learn from them. uh, but I I'm grateful that I'm alive and I have this life, even though I'm middle class. I'm making the most of it, and y'all should too, regardless what class you're in. And I shouldn't be like just looking at like a class basis, like the poor, middle, or wealthy. I don't mean to come off like that, but just as a person, as an individual, try something, go for it, man. Honestly, it's gonna it's definitely gonna take time, you whatever you decide to pursue. All things A lot of things take time, and hopefully this video was cohesive enough for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. uh I I'm just happy to bring just release this video to y'all, and y'all to watch and give comment on it, like it or dislike it, share it, or even subscribe to my channel. I look forward to it, man. All of it. Because again, it lets me know, what you guys like and don't like, or what I could improve upon. So, uh, I think that'll be it for this video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.